Righto, so how'd we do? Well, I didn't die. Sheesh, top kills and damage, legendary approved.
My daddy told me one time, you never know where you're going till you know where you've been.
When you see the red tip, that means they're very spicy.
A little hint of spiciness, like a little hint of soy sauce.
What? So spicy!
Everything.
That's good. Oh, it's hot.
Hello,
I'm here, g'day champions, how's it going? And welcome back to another Division 2 build video. Today we're going to be having a crack at somewhat of a support DPS build with spicy bullets.
It's between medium spice sometimes and hot.
This build works great solo in heroic content, but truly comes into a whole new light in team play, whether it's farming in Countdown or smashing legendaries. This build was shared to me a few weeks back by Spillo. However, on my lower level PC account, I didn't have the main gun at the time, the blue screen. And it took a fair bit of farming to get it. Apart from the gun, this was a super easy build to slap together. The fact that there's no expertise and most of the gear isn't even optimized or maxed out, and it still shreds, is really impressive. Now I do call this a support DPS build because it is DPS focused. However, you're going to be getting more bang for your buck if you use this in a team. So it's supporting your team by providing more damage.
I understand.
In that opening gameplay, you saw that I outkilled and out DPS 2 striker builds in legendary DUA.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I'm really vibing the huge damage we get with the spicy bullets, the roaring RPM, and the insane accuracy that you'll get with this build. I mean, who doesn't love a tight reticle?
Maids Willie, a cool.
But before we get into the build, welcome back to all you amazing subscribers. And if you're new to the channel and you're enjoying the content, make sure that you smash that subscribe button. Again, I want to take a quick moment to thank you all. Recently, we hit 20,000 subscribers here on YouTube. It's really overwhelming. When I started this channel, I did it for shits and gigs. But as the channel has grown, myself and the content has developed, and I have all of you to thank for that. If everyone can now take a second to engage with the video, a like, a share, a comment, it's all going to help with the magic and the wizardry of the YouTube algorithm. Setting another 200 like goal on this build video, reaching that goal would be absolutely amazing. If you did want to support myself and the channel just a little bit further, remember we have channel memberships. Click the join button below to see all the perks. And remember, if you want to catch me live in action, jump on over and drop a follow on Twitch. All the links for all my other socials are in the description below. Righto champions, with all that said and done, now let's check out the build. 4 reds, 2 blues, no skill tiers, and we sit smack bang on 1.1 million in armor. This is the balance of core attributes that I prefer. I'm not a big fan of the full 6 red builds.
Don't do goofy shit.
As I also mentioned before, this is a very straightforward build to put together. We're running 4 pieces of the ongoing directive gear set. I've gone with a Seska backpack and the contractor's gloves. This is the combination that I've gone with this setup. However, it is pretty flexible. If you don't want to use contractors and you want to get more support from the build and you want to run the coyotes, go for it. For our specialization, I've gone with Gunner, mainly for that 10% armor on kill. That's giving me extra survivability. Every 3rd reload is 50% faster. We do regenerate ammo every 60 seconds for both us and our team. And our rate of fire is increased by 5% on kill for 5 seconds. Another awesome thing about running the Gunner specialization means we can unlock the specialization specific skill, which is the Banshee Pulse. Using this to confuse and disorientate NPCs is a great source of crowd control. Now, because this season has some amazing global modifiers, you would be crazy not to play without them. The following ones are the ones that I've opted for. The active multiplier is Overdrive. The bonuses include 30% weapon damage, 30% skill damage, and 30% rate of fire with unlimited ammo supply. Being able to activate this during combat and just absolutely destroy everything that's in front of you is top tier.
I like it a lot.
We've gone with critical momentum, which is going to help us get momentum stacks. We've gone with critical recovery because it's going to help restore armor, which again is more survivability. And the last one's the microwave coils because again, this is more crowd control. One of the annoying things about this is they did recently change it to a 50% chance to apply the burn effect. Not a big deal when it comes to the whole crowd control thing because you are going to be disorientating and confusing NPCs when using that Banshee Pulse, but it's just something to be aware of. For the primary weapon, we are using the BLUESCREEN LMG, and this got a decent buff a few updates ago. The attributes on this haven't even been maxed out, but for that 3rd attribute, I've gone with damage to armor. The talent here is pretty lengthy, and there's a few different parts to it. It's called Disruptor Rounds. Shooting an enemy marks that enemy and adds stacks up to 50 to your agent. Shooting a marked enemy refreshes the mark and adds more stacks. When you deploy a non-shield skill, remove all the stacks from your agent, and all marked targets trigger an effect. Depending how many stacks have been built up, that will determine your effect. 1 to 10 stacks is a pulse, 11 to 25 is a pulse and disrupt, 26 to 49, pulse, disrupt, disorient, and at 50 stacks, we get pulse, disrupt, and disorientate to all targets and all hostiles within 10 meters of that marked target for 5 seconds. This effect will trigger immediately if any marked targets are killed. Ultimately, this is a crowd control based talent, but with the RPM and the damage this thing has, and how tight that reticle goes, it absolutely shreds. Remember, this isn't optimized and there's no expertise on it, and you saw how well it performed. If you're not a fan of the blue screen, don't sweat it, you can substitute this for basically any other LMG. For our secondary on this, I've gone with the lefty shotgun, it's got that sledgehammer talent, and I have the harvest pistol with finisher. Both of these are pretty interchangeable. My main focus is that primary weapon where I'm using the blue screen. Now we're going to take a look at the gear on the build, and first up is our mask, and it's our first of 4 pieces of ongoing directive. 2-piece bonus gives us 15% status effect, 3-piece is 30% reload speed, and the 4-piece bonus rules of engagement. Shooting a status effect enemy will apply a mark. Killing a marked enemy grants a full clip of hollow point ammo for your active weapon and half a clip to the agents within your team. The marks are going to last for 10 seconds, and hollow point ammo amplifies your weapon damage by 20% and applies a bleed. The great thing about this is you don't need to be the one to get the kill. Once that NPC is marked, somebody else in your team can kill it, and everyone's going to get the hollow points. So from the support route, your main focus is to tag up as many NPCs as you can and kill them as quick as possible. That way you're constantly refreshing your hollow point rounds for you and your team, and everyone's getting that amplified damage. For the attributes here, we have weapon damage, crit chance, and a crit hit chance mod. For the chest piece, it's our second piece of ongoing directive, and we've gone with weapon damage, crit damage, and a crit hit chance mod. Now the chest piece has a talent of its own, and it's going to increase the hollow point ammo's weapon damage amplification to 50%. However, this bonus doesn't apply to your teammates. Little bit of a bummer, I know, but I could see this being completely broken if it applied to everybody. Now there's always going to be different chest options that you can go for. Obliterate, glass cannon, any of those would work. Personally, I just find this is something a little bit fresh and different, so that's what we've gone with. For the holster, it is our third piece of ongoing directive, and we've gone with weapon damage and crit hit chance. And for the knee pads, they're our fourth piece of ongoing directive, and we've gone with armor and crit hit damage here. For the gloves, we are using the contractors, which are the name Petrov, so we're getting that 10% LMG damage. I've got armor, crit hit damage, and it comes with that fixed 8% multiplicative damage to armor. As I said before, if you wanted to give your team more damage bonuses, chuck on ongoing directive gloves here and put on the Coyote's mask for more crit. And the final piece on the build is our backpack, and we've gone with 1 piece of Seska here for that 8% crit hit chance, max weapon damage, max crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and a crit hit damage mod. For the backpack talent here, we have opted for Vigilance, increasing your total weapon damage by 25%, taking any damage disables the buff for 4 seconds. Now when Spillo was filling me in on this build, he was using Wicked on his backpack. I've opted for Vigilance. At the time, I actually didn't realize that I could re-roll this to Wicked, so I didn't get a chance to test it out, but Vigilance will give you more damage overall. But remember, it can be a little bit tricky to keep it active all the time, especially in legendary content. While Wicked is less damage, it's going to be active all the time because you're always going to have those bleed bullets. If you've got the option, play around with both, see what works for you, and let me know in the comments below. So that's the guns and the gear on the build. Now when it comes to your skills, it's complete player preference. I've got the riot foam here, it's more crowd control, and we've also opted for that Banshee Pulse. Both of these are great crowd control, and remember, both of them will apply a status. So if for some crazy reason you manage to waste 200 bullets from your blue screen and you don't have any hollow point bullets left, you can apply a status to an NPC, mark them up, kill them, and replenish those hollow points. Also, a little cheesy pro tip, if you want to load up on hollow points before you start your legendary mission, do it in the shooting range. Wink wink, nudge nudge.
Are we live here?
Righto champions, now it's fine print time, let's check out our stats. We are at 46.9% crit hit chance and 103.6% crit hit damage.
Wow.
Seems a little bit low, Yeah, it is because we're using a gear set and a lot of our gear's not optimized. Do remember that we do have all that damage to targets out of cover, and we have all that damage to armor as well. For the offensive stats, we are at 66% weapon damage, and we've got 39.2% LMG damage. Again, some of these attributes aren't maxed out, that's why this appears a little bit low, and again, no expertise on this build.
Fact.
Remember, on top of all this, we get that 25% total weapon damage from Vigilance, and we get that massive 50% amplified damage from Ongoing Directive. And just to round it off, there you go, the defensive stats, as I said before, pretty much smack bang on 1.1 million, and we have 110k in armor on kill. Just a little bit of survivability for us. So that's the build, champions, the Spicy Bullet Support DPS build, aka Blue Screen Ongoing Directive.
Spicy.
Have a build with huge damage and the addition of those spicy bullets, roaring rate of fire, and the tightest of tight reticle.
Tight, yeah!
But the most important thing is it's a build that I know that you'll all have a lot of bloody fun with. So what do you reckon? Are you going to be a champion and have a crack at this build? What modifications would you make? Let me know down below. Thanks for tuning in, champions, and make sure that you show your support by smashing the like button on this video, and if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe. Again, thank you everyone for all of your support. It is always greatly appreciated. Remember to stay frosty, keep looting, keep shooting, and giving them hell. I hope to catch you all in the next one. I'm Plum out.